Vulnerability fosters good emotions and mental health. Vulnerability also is a sign of courage. We become more resilient and brave when we embrace who we truly are and what we are feeling. The Vulnerable Scientist podcast is a space for scientists who are honest and authentic or are working towards it. Join the vulnerable space by either sending an audio using the link on the show notes talking about your highs and lows as a scientist, or by contacting Sarah Nyakeri, aka New Biochemist, to schedule a chat. The Vulnerable Scientist podcast benefits both the listener and the one sharing. You can now rate this podcast on Spotify or put a review on Apple Podcasts or any other listening platform with a rating button. And to share your thoughts, feel free to send an audio message using the audio link, either using your name or anonymously, to be published on the following episodes of the Vulnerable Scientist podcasts. Are you wondering what I use to upload and store my website spaces? Host Pinnacle. I've been using it for over 2 years right now and it has never disappointed me. So host your website today using Host Pinnacle, cheap and affordable and reliable services. To start experiencing Host Pinnacle goodness, click on the link on the show notes and you will not regret your decision. Hi everyone, welcome to the Vulnerable Scientist podcast. This is your host, Sarah Nyakeri, and today I have Cullen with me. Kindly introduce yourself, Cullen.
Okay, my name is Cullen, Ndun'gu.
What? I've been saying this the wrong way.
Nah, it's not wrong. Some people pronounce it the way you do, but mine is pronounced Cullen Ndun'gu. Yeah, I'm a microbiologist by training and also a biotechnologist. Yeah, although currently I'm not practicing.
Okay, yeah. What do you do now?
Currently I work as a quality analyst at a tech company. Yeah.
Quality analyst, what? Sorry.
Quality analyst, we deal with, our company deals with AI, artificial intelligence. So I am there to make that the models that we produce meets the client's quality. Yeah, basically that's it.
Okay. I'm excited to know more about you turning from science to tech. Anyway, before that, kindly maybe take us through your journey in the career space.
Started from my learning time. Do you want it from the work period?
From your, I don't know, what do you want to share? What do you want people to know about you before
you
introduce?
Let me start from when I started the career. So I joined university. That was in Technical University of Mombasa in 2013. Took my degree there until 2017. By 2017, from the time I was starting, I wasn't sure where I would end up in. So there was a lot of Googling, what does a microbiologist do in Kenya? Are there jobs available? You get a lot of, what you get online is more of research opportunities, which are limited. So, but then now towards...
Did you know then that it was limited at that time?
From the time I started Googling, from the talks we had from our lecturers, they would tell you that opportunities are there. They can be lucrative, but they are limited. So you have to be good at what you are doing, so that you become competitive in the market.
Okay.
Yeah. So my first job, I would say it was at KEBS, that is Kenya Bureau of Standards, as also a quality analyst, that is microbiology analyst. That was in attachment in 2016. So that's when I got to interact with more people who have done the same thing and are maybe earning from it. And that was kind of encouraging. So I started there. Then now I had a direction of what maybe I want to do after graduation. So after graduating in 2018 February, I got my first internship. That was in Kenya Industrial Property Institute. I went there, but although there was not a lot of practice on my side, but we were dealing with patents of innovations, basically surrounding biotechnology and pharmaceuticals. So a lot of learning on the patent side, patent law, and how to get patent and trademarks for your scientific innovations in Kenya. That was helpful to me.
What essentially did you do there? Like typically in a day, what would you do in such an institute?
In such an institute, I was basically under patent examination department. So when somebody submits their innovation, you have to do a search a global search and a local search on the innovation to see whether it's authentic, it's the original innovation, like no one else has done it, so that you can get the patent certificate for that. Yeah, basically that's it. And just no more, maybe admin staffs in an office. Yeah.
Okay, so you're saying it was helpful. Why?
Yeah, you get to learn that also there are innovations that can be patented. That was not something that I had learned in school. Yeah, so now plus also you get to meet people there who are coming up with bright ideas, and they are local, that things that you don't really imagine maybe coming from the Western countries, to see them happen in your own country, then you realize people have brains. This field of science can be, it's extensive. Yeah, if you decide to explore it. Yeah, then that's where I met my next employer, still in that same office, because my internship was ending in May. So from June 2018, I got a job as a quality manager at a company that was just starting up in Masai Mara. So that company was a water bottling company. So I went there to start the company as the quality manager. I had a colleague who was a production manager. It was just a small startup, and it was very scalable. So we started it, coming up with standards. Not coming up with them because they already exist, but implementing the standards for drinking water, bottled water, production standards. It was, I liked that job because I felt like I'm doing something with my education, something that like you are in the forefront of starting up something. So I knew, like, even if I left, what I started here will be used by the other person who comes in, and they'll meet that systems are already learning. So it was a lot of learning process, trying out things, because yes, standards exist, but they won't fit in every situation the way they are on paper. So you have to, a lot of testing and evaluation to see like what works best in what you are doing or in the opportunity you are in. Yeah. So
wait, so what exactly were you doing in that bottling company?
I was there as a quality manager, so testing the water to ensure that it is fit for consumption, doing all the tests in the laboratory also, because you see, as a startup, even if you're the manager, you still are the one doing the test in the lab. So also setting up the lab, knowing that what are your testing points for that, for the whole chain, from the time you source the water, from the spring to the time it gets into the factory, up to the end point where you have to ensure that everything maybe is like you've tested even the machines to ensure that they are not contaminated, and also to set standards for your staff to ensure that before anyone enters there, they are well cleaned, they are well dressed so that to ensure that your water meets maximum standards, so that when it goes to KEBS, you will not be rejected. You'll just be given the seal and given the go-ahead to produce. So I stayed in that job for a year. Then we had a breakout with my employer. Although between the year I had also broken up from the job a little bit. Then I went back. Then I left. Then and came back to Nairobi. So now it was now looking for another better job. So now I was looking for an opportunity in the microbiology world, more so in the lab now. I knew I wanted to do this maybe for the next few years. So I kept looking interviews here and there. And unfortunately I didn't get any. So now I was working as a photographer. I had a camera. So that's what I focused on now. I focused on it for the next maybe 1 year, 2019 but to 2020. By the time 2020 was...
How did you learn photography?
Oh, okay. In campus, I was helping a friend who had a camera, and we used to go out for photo shoots as a helper. I was helping him, so I had fallen in love with that. So I always knew that maybe I'll buy a camera, even if it will be just for hobbies. Yeah, but I loved it. So when I came to Nairobi from 2019 now, I focused solely on photography. That is 2019 July. That's when I would say that I focused on it fully, like it was a full-time job, 2019 to 2020, a better part of it. So 2020, now the lockdown happened. Now you have to look for ways to survive, because as much as maybe you love what you are doing and maybe you have other ambitions, but money is also important for you to reach those ambitions. So now I got introduced into academic writing. I did that for some time. By that time, during the lockdown, I was at home. So I did that for some time. Then
there's someone who's wondering, what is academic writing?
Academic writing is where you write research papers or assignment papers online for money on sites like Upwork, Addison, other sites that people source from. They are not always from students. Some of them are from maybe people who are doing their research and maybe need help in a certain topic. So they'll post a question there, and then you get the question as if you had signed up as a writer, so that after writing and submitting the paper, it is evaluated. If it is accepted, then you are paid. Yeah, that's basically it. Yeah.
Okay.
It's like writing for hire.
All right.
Yeah. So after that, now, during that time I was doing academic writing, I also got introduced into Medium. I found it through YouTube. So I found it's a nice way maybe now to practice microbiology away from the lab, but more into writing. So I did that. I published my first publication there. It did well. Then now I got contacted by a publisher in the same forum. So they are called Biotechnology Magazine, and they approached me. They asked if I can submit a paper. I said okay. I submitted. It took like several days to be evaluated, but finally it got accepted. So when you are published under a publisher on Medium, it reaches a wider audience, more than self-publishing. So now from then, what I've been doing is publishing through them. And so far...
Wait, you get paid?
For you to get paid, you have to be in selected countries. Unfortunately, Kenya is not there. But I've earned from it, though it has been indirect. Somebody found my paper and they wanted to use it. So, they paid me for that. But basically, for you to get paid, you have to be from selected countries, and it's not yet in Africa.
Okay.
So basically that's what I've been doing until 2021, now when I got this job, the one I'm doing as a quality analyst in a tech company. Most of my friends are into tech, so one of them introduced me into it. And because I had done some few courses online on tech, like I had learned basic coding with Python, basic coding with C++ and HTML. So I was more conversant on the tech world. So when they introduced me to the opportunity, I applied and got contacted. I passed the interview and started the job on 10th May 2021. Till now.
How is it so far? Do you like it?
I love it. I love it. First of all, because the opportunity is flexible, so it gives you time to do your own stuff. Maybe, during now when you're done with your work, maybe now you can focus on other things like writing. Although this year I haven't written anything, but I'm planning to write on several papers because there are publishers that have reached out to me and they want me to publish something on quality assurance, because basically that's what I've practiced since graduation. So maybe I write something, and I'm also writing for a book that is about to come by the end of the year, still on the same quality assurance. So I've been asked to submit like 2 units. So basically that's what I'm working on for this year, plus now my job, which I love.
Wow, that's amazing. That's a very interesting journey right there. So maybe Cullen, right?
Yes, Cullen.
I'm still yet to absorb that name. Like, since I knew you, I've been calling you Cullen in my head.
Mm-hmm.
I've never. Anyway, sorry.
Okay.
So do you want to share the highs and lows that you've gone throughout this journey?
Throughout this journey, the highs are maybe when I first got my internship after graduation, because during that period, one is normally like lost. You don't know what do you want to do. Now you are done with school, and your parent expects, like, he or she is seeing that you did something unique in high school, in campus. So they are wondering, why are you not getting a job? Like, they thought, coming from a science world, maybe that the course is more marketable. So they expect you to get a job like immediately. So staying at home for like a month, another one, you're still there. Yes, you're hustling your way, but they can see you are putting in the effort, but they wonder, like, did they waste their money paying for 4 years doing for you to do this course? So at some point, my dad said, you would have rather done education or business. But I told him, it's okay, like whatever happens for a reason, and I believe in that a lot. So that was, okay. So getting that call for the internship gave me hope to move away from my home, to come to Nairobi. It gave me home, and I knew, like, once I've come to Nairobi, there's no going back home. So I knew, like, even after the internship, even if I don't get a job, I'll have to find a way for me to depend on myself. So maybe that was the highest point.
Sorry, a few questions about that. Did you, when you applied for the microbiology biotech course, was it through JAB, first of all?
Yes, it was through JAB.
And did you know about it before you applied?
I knew someone who has done microbiology, and he had done it to a PhD level, and so I knew him, and he had told me that it's a good course. Although we were not that close, we got to interact once. Yeah, he had told me it's a good course. Yeah, so I knew like you can amount to something through it.
Okay, so you didn't have anything else that you wanted to do?
I wanted to do medicine. That was also what my dad wanted. My mom wanted that. Everyone in my family wanted that because I was sharp in school. But I didn't make the cut points for medicine, and now paying for medicine, like parallel degree, it's millions which we couldn't afford. Yeah. So I wanted something now closer to science. Yeah.
Okay, I've noticed a lot of people who are in the biological sciences. They did something. They wanted to do something to do with medicine. Most of them. Then they didn't get the cutoff. Then they looked for something similar to medicine. Anyway, it's interesting to see that. Yeah. So now you're done with school. Now you've gotten this opportunity. How did you apply to this opportunity, the KEBS opportunity?
The KEBS opportunity, I applied it. Hard delivery. I delivered my application, the one that you get in the university for attachment, plus your CV. I delivered it to the receptionist, and in a week I was called. I remember the dates. Wow. I started work. I remember it was 2nd May, August, to August. That is 2016.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Yeah. It was paid internship.
It wasn't paid attachment, but there are small tokens there at KEBS. It was in KEBS in Mombasa, and I made my first connections there. To people I still talk to till now. People who have accomplished a lot in microbiology. Yeah, so basically there what we focused on more was on microbiology because biotechnology lab was not there in Mombasa. Yeah, it is here in Nairobi.
Okay, so what about the internship? How did you apply for the internship, the 2018 one?
The 2018 I applied through email. That is KIPI, Kenya Industrial Property Institute. Yeah, I applied through email. I got called. Yeah, it is paid. They paid 10,000 shillings per month. Yeah, but they increased it to 13,000 when I was there. Yeah, plus I met some other awesome people there. Now that was my first time maybe interacting more into the biotechnology world because most applications there are based on the tech. In the department I was biotech pharmaceuticals. And also my supervisor was into biotech. Yeah.
Okay, interesting. Another high.
Yeah. Another high, I'd say now when starting the job in Masai Mara. The company was called Coco Exquisite. It was interesting going there. First of all, being in a place that you've never been. The only complaint about that place is that it's too remote. You can hardly get a cell phone signal. So you feel you're in a place that you don't know anyone. So there's a lot of loneliness because you can't even keep in touch with the outside world. So you focus more on work, maybe reading, relaxing. Yeah, but the place was awesome. Knowing that you are the one starting a company in that position, it gives you some self-pride, knowing that what you are doing is, if it is rejected, then you failed the whole company, and if it is accepted, then you will be remembered throughout in that company. Yeah, so I enjoyed that a lot for the time it lasted. Yeah.
Okay, as much as it didn't turn out to at the end to be the a positive thing, I'm wondering, What are the things that you learned from being in a startup company, especially in the industry as someone who's in science?
Okay, I learned that first of all, it is not easy, because when you are dealing with an employer, maybe they've gone to a consultant, maybe someone who deals with water, maybe like to a company like Davis Shutleaf, and they've told you like this is what is needed, this is what is needed. The law requires this. The law requires you to have these kind of filters. So going there now, you are more knowledgeable into this world, and having worked in cabs and having tested different types of water, from spring water to borehole water, that is called still water. So now you know like what you are going for. And sometimes convincing the employer that this is what will work better for you. The employer, first of all, he or she sees the cost in it first before looking at, does it meet the standards? Is it the right thing to do? So there's a lot of learning how to maybe deal with people who are not knowledgeable about what is best practice in that field, and convincing them. But if it was someone who maybe had a background knowledge of maybe chemistry or any other life science, it is easier for them to learn. But someone coming from a totally different world, convincing them was a hard one. Yeah.
But you learned, convincing skills and the industry.
Yeah, you learn convincing skills. Also, you interact with other people maybe who are working in the same field, and they tell you that this if the employer maybe wants to cut costs, maybe you learn now the running of the business. You learn the alternatives. Maybe if this doesn't work, what can we use that is also favorable to the employer, so that the business can also sustain itself, bearing in mind it's a startup. Yeah. So you learn what is needed in a certain in that field. Yeah, basically that's it.
Oh, I found that very interesting. Coming from this is someone who's still young in the industry. It's not like you had a lot of experience, and you're
true.
learning everything. You're learning everything at the same time, and there's learning in every single part of what you're doing, and I find that it must be exciting for you.
It was exciting to learn that there are halal standards, the CAB standards, and how what standards to apply in what stage in the production, in the quality room. Yeah, so there's a lot of learning, and it builds you up. It gives you ambitions, so that in future, if someone or if I was or my friends were to start such a thing, or something that is food related, food production, you would now be not starting from nothing. Now you have the knowledge of what is needed and how to apply it. Yeah.
Okay, another high.
Another high now is getting to campus. Yeah, I guess that was also actually my first high. I would say like was when now I passed my Form 4, because during that Form 4, like a lot of during that Form 4, the 4th year in my high school, most of it I was sick. So I was mostly out of class most of the time. But now, sitting for the exam, I remember mathematics gave me a lot of problems in Form 3, and I almost gave up on it. So I knew mathematics I would get a strong D+ or even an E. But now, getting to Form 4 now, you start getting sick, you start going out of class for most of the time. But now when it became now in my that term now, I focused more on gaining those mathematics skills. My mom is very good in maths, and she was always encouraging me, telling me that it's always about your perspective, what you think. If you think it is hard, then it will be hard to you. So now I started learning how to love maths. Until now, when I sat for my KCSE, it went well, But now I was also afraid that I've been out of class for some time, so maybe I won't do well as I used to, because in Form 1, in Form 2, I was always the top student in almost all subjects except mathematics. So when I got my results, I got everything B+. I kind of balanced every subject. B+, B+, B+. So getting that was kind of high for me. Although in a way still a low, because I didn't get my cut points what I wanted to pursue medicine. Yeah.
Is there any other low?
Any other low point? The lowest I've ever been, maybe now in life, when that was in 2007. I was also now an year too. It's like something happens when I'm always about to sit for my exam. I kind of get sick. I even don't know why. 2007 now, I was in class 7, ending class 7, now getting to class 8. That's when also I got admitted with anemia. It really took a toll on me, because now, at this point, like, I had no hope. Now I had seen that's all to life. I've lived myself, my up to class 7, and that's it. So, by the way, that's when now I knew I wanted to do medicine, because I was admitted in Kenyatta, and now you are there interacting with doctors most of the time. And the doctors were really nice. Most of them were Indians. And now I wanted to be like them when now I go out of Form 4. So, yeah, I guess that was when I knew maybe what I wanted to study. Although it never happened, yeah. So I guess that's the lowest I've ever been in life, and that's why I'm always grateful for life. I say that if you are alive and you are healthy, then I guess you can do anything as long as you are healthy. But health comes first before your dreams, because you can have dreams, but if you don't have the strength to execute them, then they are not worth it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there any other low or high?
No, I don't think there's any other low or high. Although, like, now I feel like I'm on high, because now this year started well, getting the book offer, getting the publication offer. Yeah. So those are highs that are keeping me excited about this year. I know by the time it ends, maybe my work will be somewhere. Yeah, reaching a lot of thousands of people from different countries. Yeah, that's the beauty of publishing in an online platform, where maybe the audience is not locally based, is not constrained to a geographical location. When it's open to everyone, like that paper that I published that got paid for, it was paid for by someone in Russia. So you see, so getting recognized somewhere else, it feels nice. Yeah. Also, my papers, most of them in Medium, you'll see comments from different people from different worlds, from different professionals who have maybe stumbled on them when looking up something and they found them interesting. Yeah. So basically, I feel kind of high now for this year. I'm excited about it. Yeah, because of what has been offered in this in a small period from January to now. Yeah.
Okay, that's really great. Do you want to share your Medium? I don't know. So that if someone is interested to see your content.
My Medium username is Cullen Ndun'gu. I'm Cullen Ndun'gu everywhere, like from LinkedIn. If you Google my name, you'll get my Medium link direct.
Okay.
Yeah.
How is it? How is it moving from lab to
tech
communication? To communication.
It starts. It's not easy at first, because you when you realize maybe you're not communicating to your colleagues, Now you have to hone your skills so that you make everyone understand what you are writing. Basically, it's practice and learning, like communication skills, mostly written communication, like how to structure your points so that they flow well through the paper so that the reader becomes interested. Like you can write, you don't have to be so scientific, but you keep it simple terminologies such that they can be understood by anyone who understands English. They can understand what you're trying to communicate. Yeah, basically it's a lot of practice. At first it was not easy. I remember I also published one paper that didn't do well because it had a lot of scientific terminologies, so that if anyone is reading it and they don't understand, they'll just leave it midway. But if you write something that is easy to understand in a compelling way, you'll still be able to pass your message. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Last words, things that I've not asked you that you wanted to talk about, but you haven't talked about.
Maybe I would say that in Kenya or in Africa, basically, they need to recognize biological scientists, people who have studied different biological sciences more than they do now. Maybe there needs to be a union, or whatever union exists now should open its doors to, like we have KMLTTB that is geared towards laboratory technicians. And maybe they need to embrace more of us, because basically these sciences support each other. And if you see other countries what they do, you'll get that in a hospital there's a biotechnology lab. In a hospital you'll find a biology lab. You'll get all these biological sciences working together, maybe to support each other. But in Kenya, there's hardly specialization when it comes to that. And that's why most people feel left out. Most people, after campus, they just leave the field because there are little opportunities for them to practice. Even after having all that knowledge, after doing well, some of them have done wonderful projects in campus. But now, coming out, there are limited opportunities. You either go into research, into writing, or the few hospitals that exist that can employ you are very few. And some of them who have gone maybe to national hospitals like KNH. I have a friend who is there. She did microbiology, but every time she says that the KMLTTB board is harassing her because she doesn't have the license for that. Yeah, so maybe there need to be more discussion on how to embrace everyone in the biological science world, so that everyone feels included, everyone can get opportunities to practice and to earn. Yeah.
Do you want to talk more about this KMLTTB thing?
Maybe on another forum, not now. But I've written something concerning it, and maybe you can find it on my LinkedIn. Yeah.
All right. So there's something I'm interested to introduce on this podcast where I ask guests what hobbies they do have that have nothing to do with their work.
Science. Yeah. I'd say hobbies. Maybe I'd say photography, walking. I walk a lot. I guess I can walk the whole day. I don't get tired of walking. Yeah. Walking.
Why do you walk?
It's just something that I got used to. Maybe when I was a little boy, my dad used to take me for walks, especially after church. We just used to go for walks, and it's something that grew in me. Walking, nature walks. Yeah, taking nature walks. I can walk without getting tired. Yeah, so if I have to go somewhere and it's a short distance, so most of the time I consider, can I walk there? It's just something that has grown in me. Yeah, so walking and photography, I'd say, top priority hobbies.
Okay. Are there others?
I don't think there are others. Maybe traveling, but everyone says traveling, but they don't travel. Yeah. So yeah.
Something they aspire. It's not like that hobby, really.
Yeah, like every CV is written under hobbies: traveling, swimming, singing. Yeah, but also I sing. Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't know that. You sing. Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
I sing. Yeah.
That's interesting. All right. So thanks for coming in. And it's a goodbye for now.
Okay. See you next time. Thank you for having me.
Do you want to start your own podcast? Start with some simple gear that you already have and a quiet space. Simple gear includes a microphone, editing software, and host of your podcast. Simple microphones include the ones on your phones and computers, or a simple recorder, which you can upgrade later. For the editing software, I use Audacity, which is free and simple to use. Buzzsprout, which over 1,000 other fellow podcasters like me use, is one of the podcast hosting providers you can use. Buzzsprout has helped me link my show on every major podcast platform. With the endless number and regularly updated tutorials and good customer service support Buzzsprout offers, my podcasting journey has been made easy. Following the link in the show notes, let Buzzsprout know we sent you, gets you a $20 Amazon gift card if you sign up for a paid plan, and helps support our show.